So how would you like to develop a more magnetic personality? If you're watching this video, then chances are you're interested in personal development and you may know a thing or two about charisma. But what I'm going to share with you today is less based on tactics and comes from some surprising new science. So what does it mean to have a magnetic personality? Well, plain and simple, it means that you attract people and opportunities and things to you that are awesome just by being you, just by the nature of who you're being. And so what's really interesting about this topic is that in the past, whenever I had studied charisma and magnetism and attraction, I had focused on what you do and things that you can say and ways of being and tactics and strategies. But what I'm learning about now, what we're all learning about now, is some really surprising science based on the heart. Yes, the heart. So in order for you to understand how this works, and I promise you will understand how this works by the end of this video, we must first dive just a little bit into some new heart science. So there's a lot of heart research being done right now. A lot of it is being done by a place called the Heart Math Institute. So if this interests you, you can go check out more information from the Heart Math Institute. But essentially, I'm going to put it to you in a nutshell. What we're realizing is that how we attract people, how we connect with people, how we magnetize people comes from our own emotions. So to back it up and give you some context, the first thing is that the heart is the very first organ that's created in the body. This is undisputed, long time known science. When conception happens and cells start to divide and grow in the womb, what happens is that the cells start to need nourishment and they start to give off waste material. And so the heart is developed as the mechanism to communicate with the body as it's growing. And as such, it's the very first organ system, the circulatory system, to develop, which means that the heart is connected to every other part of our body. And what's really exciting and what's newer and more late coming research is that the heart, just like the brain, actually has neurons and neurites and neuronic connections. Now, neurons are nerves or nerve systems that were generally and previously thought to only exist in the brain. But in fact, the heart has a communication system that has brain cells, so to speak. And so what's really interesting about this is that we're learning now that the heart actually communicates, that the heart actually knows things. You know how we've always said, we know this by heart, or our heart tells us this. Well, the science is actually showing that these are more than just figures of speech, that in fact, the heart does have wisdom. What does this have to do with having a magnetic personality? Hold on, I promise we will get there. What's really interesting about this is that the heart has its own wisdom. So unlike the brain, and the brain intelligence is based on the cortex and the cerebral cortex and all the neuronic activity happening in the brain, like visual cortex and the auditory and where it's processing olfactory and smells, which is the most ancient part of our brain, the heart is also has a wisdom and a knowing, but the heart doesn't see in pictures or in sounds or in smells. The heart feels in emotions. And so the really cool thing about this is, and we've known this for a long time, the heart actually produces an electromagnetic field that extends about 3 to 7 feet out from our body. And we can actually measure this field with scientific equipment. And the field that the heart creates and that extends out from the heart actually extends out much, much further than any activity we can pick up from the brain. And in fact, in order to measure the brain's activity, we have to have like EEG things right on our brain so that it can pick up those signals. Whereas the heart, we can measure it here and out there. Now, what this has to do with magnetic personality is that what we found is that what we're projecting out into the world can be sensed, it can be picked up. And the nature of the waves that the heart sends out is determined by the emotions that we're feeling at any given moment. So to put it really simply and distill it down to its essence, we are actually projecting our emotions out into the world. And so when you think about a magnetic personality from that perspective, right? If we think about how do we attract people, well, we attract people by projecting out the emotions that are going to resonate with them. So if we want to create a magnetic personality, then it stands to reason that the first and foremost thing that we need to focus on is going inward and saying, well, what are the emotions that I'm projecting out into the world? All right, so think about it. What are some of the emotions that we can foster in order to develop a more magnetic personality? Do you think that it's more magnetic to put out negativity and resistance and judgment and criticism? Or is it more effective to be magnetic to put out positivity and joy and love and nurturing, right? So these are two very different energetics that come from a very different emotional state. So if you want to develop a more magnetic personality, then focus on developing more attractive magnetic emotions internally. So how do we do that? Well, that's a really, really good question. One thing we can do is actually cultivate the emotions that we want to project. So a lot of times we get this part backwards, okay? A lot of times we approach life as if we have to do certain things in order to have certain outcomes, and then when we do these things and have these outcomes, then we'll be the person we want to be. Now, I would posit to you that in order to have a magnetic personality, we want to shift that on its head. And we would start with, who do you want to be in order to do, and what would that person that you want to be do, and what would the outcomes that they would have as a result? So in other words, we can cultivate and be the emotions that we want to project out into the world. So it's not like we say, all right, when I meet my soulmate and I fall in love, then I will feel love and then I will project that out into the world. No, it's the opposite. It's, all right, if I want to experience love, then I first need to foster love within me and project love from me, and then I will create and attract and resonate with love out in the world. Okay, so the concept of having a magnetic personality, first you've got to be intentional about what you want to be magnetic to, right? So if you want to be magnetic to attract career opportunities and advancement and success and achievement, then first fostering a feeling of confidence and success and achievement, like it's already here. Like, what do I know I'm already great at? What do I already feel confident about? What do I already have success with in my life? And really tapping into that emotion intentionally and then carrying that emotion out into the world with us. Okay, what is it I want to experience? I want to experience love and connection. Well, then I tap into the feeling of love. What do I love already in my life? What makes me feel love right here, right now, without having to go out and find it? Cultivate that feeling, tap into it, raise the level of love, like feel love and double the feeling of love and quadruple the feeling of love, and cultivate that every single day, and you'll naturally be bringing more love into the world and into the projection that you're putting out there. So these are some practices that I've played with. One of the ones that I'm working on right now is cultivating appreciation. Because what I found is that the connection between abundance and appreciation is very, very tight and very, very close. So by cultivating, like, what do I appreciate right now? Where am I abundant in my life right now? And really heightening that feeling of appreciation, abundance, then I walk into my day feeling, lo and behold, more appreciation and abundance. And of course, more appreciation and abundance comes right back to me. So if you want to be in a magnetic personality, then focus on what you're being and how you're bringing, or what you're projecting from your being emotionally into the world. So if you like this idea and these concepts of personal development and you want to do more, and especially if you want to bring these concepts into your business and into your life so that you can create more joy and grace and ease and flow, then go ahead and download my Monetize Your Magic playbook. You can get that by clicking on the link below and you'll get immediate access and it's free. Enjoy.